From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Ticats Today with Louie B.
Yes, it is Ticats Today for a Monday, October the 18th, 2021. Hopefully you had a fantastic weekend filled with good times and good memories and good people, or whatever you did this weekend. Hopefully you made it a good one. Maybe you worked too. That's cool too. Whatever you have to do. But hopefully you had a good weekend. Louie B, your digital host here. Thanks for checking us out on the Ticats Audio Network. New week, which means a whole new whack of content coming your way on the Ticats Audio Network, including a brand new episode of the CFL This Week with Bubba O'Neill dropping later today, wherever you found this podcast. Ticats remain off. They return to the practice field tomorrow. So today is an off day after the bye week. They didn't practice over the weekend, so tomorrow will be their first practice ahead of their game on Saturday when they take on the Ottawa Redblacks. And you can be there. Go to ticats.ca for tickets. If you want to make sure you're there, should be a beautiful Saturday afternoon to take on the Ottawa Redblacks. In the meantime, now very pleased to be joined by RJ Broadhead. You know him as the voice of the Ticats here on the Ticats Audio Network. And RJ, I just want to start with that because we'll talk about the team in a second. But you had told us, this was the first time you were doing your play-by-play for football. So it is something kind of brand new. So I just kind of want to start the conversation by asking how it's been going for you as a broadcaster. What's this been like so far?
What are you saying? The old dog can't do new tricks?
I'm not saying that. Nope, not even a little bit. Not even a little. But you came into the CFL and obviously you'd followed the sport. But yep. I mean, football play-by-play it's a different animal. So I know you're one of the best in the business. I'm not trying to say that, RJ. But just what's this experience been like for you as a broadcaster?
It's been wonderful, Louie. First of all, from day one, the Ticats from top to bottom with Scott Mitchell, Matt Afanek, Dave Cadeau, yourself, everybody we've worked with. There's just an energy about the Tiger Cats that is really refreshing to be around. Everybody is kind of part of the team and wants to win and wants good things and has ideas and is very creative. So that's been really refreshing to be around. And the team's been great to deal with. Football has been a learning experience. It's a bit like a rookie athlete, I guess. Everything happens really fast, and as I've gotten more games under my belt, it's slowed down a little bit. I've gotten to know the players really well. I know the Tiger Cats in and out, and I'm getting to know the rest of the league pretty well, and that's a big key. One thing with play-by-play is to do your prep, but you don't have time to go through your notes. It's a split second. You need to know what statistically is going on with that player, whether it's his first touchdown, third in a row, or whatever statistical reference can be thrown in there. So a lot of it is pre-prep. You have the notes there, but either you know them at the time or you don't. So it's been, and I'm a template guy too. I always kind of create my own, whatever sport I've been doing. I was going through, I tennis, hockey, both Winter and Summer Olympics, now football. It's been really exciting. I've done soccer, quite a bit of soccer. So they're all different, but it's how you put everything together to help you understand it. I think everybody's different. Everybody has their own systems and patterns, but I'm figuring mine out, and I've loved it. For me, the I don't want to say worst part, but the most work is prior to the game, and then the game hits and it's fun and everything just flows and you get into the game and it's play by play, literally play, then another play. So it's been fun. I really, really look forward to the games.
And it's funny because it is play after play, and there might be some time between the whistles, but it's not like in hockey where it's okay. This is a longer whistle. This is a commercial, right? It's really continuous. And I guess the one thing, I'm not trying to speak for you here, but I think it's helped the people you've been sitting beside in that booth. And,
absolutely
full credit. I mean, Luke Tasker, we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. He still looks like he can play. Andy Fantu still looks like he can play. But I know working next to Andy, and I know you've been lucky enough to work a couple of games with him. Just two guys who, hard to explain it to people who aren't broadcasters, but they make it look so easy. It's not that easy. We went to school for this kind of thing. These guys just slid in and are really doing a great job. So again, not to put words in your mouth, but what's it been like working with those guys? And I know you worked a couple games with Mike Morreale as well.
Yeah, well, and we've talked enough, Louie, that you're not putting words in my mouth. That's absolutely true. They've been great, and it's not a surprise they were really good athletes too, because they're working at the broadcasting side. They listen to the games back, and I always say, in broadcasting, you have to listen to yourself, play the game back. You'll be your own best/worst critic. Nobody will critique you harder than yourself. And I know both Andy and Luke have listened to games back. They improve on things. They add in new things. They've been fantastic. Mike Morreale's an absolute pro. He's done hundreds of games. So it's old hat for him, but for both Luke and Andy coming in, I think they get better and better every game, and that's saying something because right from game one they were both really good, and that has definitely made my job as play-by-play for the Tiger Cats much easier working beside those guys, and fantastic guys too on top of their ability and their knowledge of the game. Just great guys to be around.
All right, let's talk about the actual football team here. Here they are, 4-5. I mean, this is not the way they saw the season going, but there really isn't a pessimism around the team. There might be. I've noticed some fans. There are some fans out there, and that's going to happen. You cheer for a team, you invest your time and energy into cheering for a team, and they don't deliver. You're going to get upset. But around the team, in the building, there's not it's more optimism than pessimism at this point, despite the record.
Absolutely, Louie. It's been a tough season to figure out for us as broadcasters. I'm sure the coaches and the players, the fans, everybody's kind of in the same boat. Just when you think the team has taken that step to be the Grey Cup contender we kind of expected, and expectations are sometimes the worst thing to have in sports, but then things kind of go sideways. I look at the defense that was such a backbone of the team, and then in the last two games, Montreal gets a 3rd and 20 for a touchdown that if they could have stopped that, game would have been done. And then against the Argos, Dejan Brissett, who didn't have a reception on 3rd and 6, makes an unbelievable catch and keeps the drive alive, and Boris Beattie hits a 51-yard field goal. So a couple of plays there that you could maybe do those plays 10 times and they'd work 3 or 4 times out of 10, and they just happen to go against the Tiger Cats. It's been a real up and down season. In a way, it's good because Tiger Cats are pretty much guaranteed there's going to be no cruising into the playoffs. Expectations are they will be in the playoffs. There's that expectations word again. But every game's going to mean something from here on in. I even look at the Montreal-Toronto game on Friday prior to the Ticats game against Ottawa on Saturday. Who do you want to win that game? You know, Argos win that game, and they're just that much further ahead. Montreal wins it. Now you've got 2 teams tied for first. Now you're in third. That crossover is still in play with BC with the same record as Hamilton in 4th place in the West Division. So it's been a tough year to figure out, maybe all through the CFL. I think a lot of teams, except for Winnipeg, are going through this. But for Hamilton, this is it. This is their last bye week of the season. Last time they went into a bye week, they had lost 2 in a row. This time, they lost 2 in a row going into the bye week and worked out pretty good afterwards. They won 2 straight, 4 of their next 5. So it's kind of the boat they're in. Now, me personally, I thought these final 7 games were going to be a lot different. The 3 games at home, I did not expect the Tiger Cats to lose the first 2, albeit by a combined 4 points. Wasn't by much, but I kind of thought they'd be in a pretty good spot. Now they really have put themselves in a situation where they have to win. They have to beat a team like Ottawa at home on Saturday, and I don't think it's too early now to call them must-wins the way Montreal and Toronto are playing.
Well, that's I mean there's the crux of it right there, right? In 3 of the 5 losses that the Ticats have this season, it's a total of I think 5 points, right? A 1 point
It is.
loss
Yep.
to 2 1-point losses to Toronto and a 3 like that we could be talking about a team that's won 7 straight, right?
Absolutely.
That's not the way football works. I get that, but I mean it's just like when people are down on this team and again, like Montreal just acquired Trevor Harris. I mean, Trevor Harris is a proven elite quarterback. He's a Ticat killer. I can go back to games in which Trevor Harris, just kind of lit up, last year's East final aside. But I mean, it's going to be interesting. You mentioned the bye week. They're coming back. What are you going to be tuned into this week? What are you going to be looking for? Whether it's, guys coming back, because I know I mentioned it a little bit earlier that this is going to be a big week for Dane Evans. This is right in the middle of that 4 to 6 week calendar. This is going to be a big week for Masoli. He's had a week off. He's coming off a big game. What are you going to be tuned into this week at practice?
Yeah, I think that's definitely the big thing. I was watching Dane Evans before the game against Toronto, and I thought he looked pretty good. And he was out there just in his, workout clothes, and he was running and throwing and twisting and different yardages. And I couldn't help but think he can't be far away. So it will be an interesting week for that. I think Jeremiah Masoli has kept getting better, and it was an unfortunate result, and his record isn't good. He hasn't been able to put a win on the board, but you look at the numbers he put up, and the running game was better. Chris Van Zyl, I'm sure, helped with that, and hopefully he's a mainstay in the lineup from here on in. It'd be nice to have Brandon Banks back. Health is a major thing, but it will be interesting to see if Dane Evans is ready to go, if he comes back in as the number one. And he just seemed to have, when he was in there, it was a calming presence. And I'm not saying Jeremiah Masoli didn't have that, but it was kind of the start of a good role for the Tiger Cats. And we'll see. It's a good situation. You've got options at quarterback, really good quarterbacks. So if Dane Evans is healthy, it's a good situation for the Ticats, and we'll let the coaches make the decisions there. But it was a much better offensive performance by the Tiger Cats against Toronto.
Yeah, that's such a great point. I think, coming out of this bye week, you have to expect the Ticats are going to be the healthiest they've been this season. Obviously, like Malden, guys who are on the 6-game injured list, Miles Manalo, all those guys, we hope they're better soon. But Frankie Williams was on the 1-game injured list. You mentioned Brandon Banks. So, we could be looking at the team the Ticats thought they had week 1, week 2, which could be scary for the rest of the league and their opponents the rest of the way.
Yeah, for sure. And Marcus Green did a good job returning kicks, but just Frankie Williams in there, not only returning, but on defense as well. He's just such an important part, and maybe gets overlooked sometimes, his defensive play, but definitely hoping he's back. And Ottawa has some issues in that situation too, with Devontae Dedmon. He was on crutches after their game, so we'll have to see how that plays out. But I can't imagine if he does play, he's going to be 100%. So 2 of the best returners in the game. Hopefully we get to see them. But as far as the Ticats are concerned, you're right. Frankie Williams is another big guy to have back, and health so important down the stretch. I just hope we get a chance to look back at this season and kind of piece the games together and say, you know what, this was good. This happened at this time. And I kind of thought that's how it was going to go at the start of the year with the 2 road games, tough places to win, then the bye week, and then winning 4 or 5. I thought, okay, now you got 3 games at home. Tiger Cats are in good shape here, but it's sport. You never know. And Coach O says it all the time. Half the teams lose, and that really puts it into perspective. Every week, half the teams lose, and they expect to win. So Saturday, it's massive. Yeah. Gotta beat the teams that are out of the playoff picture right now, and that's the situation the Tiger Cats are in. They have to win.
That's it. Well said. You know what? That's a perfect place to leave the conversation too, man. I appreciate this. Saturday, we will be on the air. Andy Fantuz and I will be on the air at 3 o'clock with Tiger Cats pregame, and we'll hand it over to you and Luke Tasker, who will have the call 4 o'clock against the Ottawa Redblacks. RJ, thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, man. Looking forward to the game, Louie. No problem. Talk to you anytime.
My thanks to RJ Broadhead. My thanks to you for tuning in. We are back tomorrow, and so are the Ticats. Finally, some sound from practice. We'll have it tomorrow on Ticats Today. Thanks for checking us out on the Ticats Audio Network. I'm Louie B. Hope you have a great day.
Ticats Today with Louie B. Subscribe, like, and get your Ticats fix every weekday.